Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be all about the newly launched K-Beauty Hydrating Foundations. I've got two shades of the foundation with me and I'm gonna show you how both the shades look on my skin tone. So this is how the outer carton looks like in which the foundation comes. You've got the signature K-Beauty packaging and the foundation bottle looks like this. So it comes in this glass bottle with a white cap, and when I saw this it immediately reminded me of the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter foundation. Doesn't it look super similar to that? So anyway, initially I got the shade 175N, which is neutral. They have launched 20 different shades in this particular foundation range, and I first picked up the shade called 175N, which was neutral, like I mentioned, which I initially thought would be a perfect match on me, and this is how 175N looks like. And another great thing about this foundation is that it comes with a pump, which makes your life super convenient. So yeah, it's very easy to dispense the product, and the price of this foundation is rupees 1200, which is kind of on the pricier side, but that's what most of these K-Beauty products are. They're kind of mid-range products, so it's not too expensive, not too affordable as well. It's right in between. So I think 1200 rupees for a foundation from K-Beauty is fine. And this contains the standard 30 grams of product in the bottle. And this foundation also says it contains avocado and mango butter in it, which makes it really hydrating. Now when I heard the word hydrating, it kind of took me back, because my skin is super oily, so a hydrating foundation would not last on my face that well. I want really matte foundations, and that's what works best on me. If not matte, it should be at least satin finish. Anyway, I still wanted to try the foundation from K-Beauty because they never fail to impress me. Every single product of theirs is really good and worth all the money. So I wanted to give it a try. So I'm just going to take a little bit of the shade 175N and apply it on my jawline. The texture of this foundation is kind of like a thicker liquid, which is really soft and buttery to touch. It's not like a thick consistency like a mousse or anything. It's like a thicker sort of a liquid. So yeah, this is the shade 175N, which actually looks fine, right? When you look at it like this, it totally looks like it would suit you. I bought the shade 175N first, and I thought it would suit me. It kind of does. It works on my face well. It kind of settles into my skin. I asked the people in my family whether my face looks ashy or it's fine. They said it looks fine. It doesn't look ashy or anything. So the thing that I noticed with 175N was it matches the rest of my face and neck perfectly, but it makes the hyperpigmentation around here go a little bit ashy, which I really don't like in a foundation. So that's what I was figuring about this particular shade. So then I went ahead and looked up on the other shades in the same range, and I thought 180Y would kind of match me, so I went ahead and bought the shade 180Y, which is a yellow undertone foundation. I'm just going to take a little bit of 180Y and just apply it next to the shade 175N. So this is how 180Y looks like. They really don't have much of a difference in terms of tones. They are completely the same shades of foundation, only that they have different undertones when you look at them like this. This one is a little bit more peachy and has a yellow undertone like the name suggests, and this one is more neutral. So when I use the shade 175N, like I said earlier, it perfectly settles in with the rest of the face and the color of my neck and face very well, except the hyperpigmentation around the mouth area. But the 180Y shade doesn't do that. It doesn't look ashy around my mouth area once it is on, and it adds a nice warmth to my face. I think I am quite used to warmer shades of foundation as well, so that's why I feel more comfortable with the shade 180Y on me. But other than that, I can wear both the shades on my complexion. They would work well. Only thing is that I have to use a nice orange color corrector with the shade 175N if I have to wear this shade. So that's how 175N looks like. Can you see that slight bit of ashiness right here? So that's what I was talking about. So this is 180Y, which is really better than the shade 175N. Can you see the difference? It's more yellow and looks better on my complexion as compared to the shade 175N, which kind of looks ashy right here. Can you see that? It looks a bit more ashy. So I'm really glad that I got to try the shade 180Y as well, because I do think it's sort of a better match on me. I already have a yellow undertone as well, so I should have picked up the shade 180Y initially, but I don't know what I was thinking. I picked up 175 neutral. Both the shades are consecutive shades, so it was easy for me to figure out which of these foundation shades would kind of work on me. They have divided all these foundation shades according to 4 different categories: light, medium, tan and dark. Both of these shades fall under the dark category. I got this foundation as soon as the product launched, so I've been testing it out all these days, so I can give you a detailed info about the foundation right now. So I'm just gonna use the shade 180Y all over my face right now and show you how the foundation looks. So now to blend the foundation, I'm going to use a buffing brush, and the foundation blends really easily. As you can see, it doesn't really require a lot of effort. Since it has got that really nice dewy texture, the foundation doesn't really require a lot of effort while you blend it. So that's how one layer of the foundation looks like. It is super duper dewy. So it is definitely not meant for oily skin types. The finish of the foundation is extremely dewy. As you can see, my skin almost looks like a glass skin. So that's how dewy and shiny the finish is of the foundation. So if you are a drier skin type, you will absolutely love the finish of the foundation. Not so much for oily skin. Although they do mention that it is suitable for all skin types, I really don't think that's 100% true. And the coverage of the foundation is super light, and if you build it up, you will get about medium coverage, and that's it. It's not full coverage by any means at all. It's very light and almost skin-like, which is great if you are wearing this foundation for your everyday use. So I'm just going to try to take some more foundation and just focus it on the areas where I feel like I need some more coverage. And even after using a brush, this is the kind of coverage you get. So if you use a sponge for this foundation, it is definitely going to soak up a lot of product. So I would recommend a brush to apply this foundation. So that's how a second layer of foundation looks like, and as you can see, it has not covered up the pigmentation around my mouth or the acne spots completely. You can still see a little bit of the imperfections peeking through. If you like that sort of a finish, then absolutely go for it, but if you like a better coverage than this, then you would have to go in with a concealer to conceal all these areas. And the shade 180Y doesn't make my hyperpigmentation around my mouth look too bad. It looks fine, but if I want to cover the pigmentation properly, I do have to go in with a concealer to conceal all these areas. But if I wear the shade 175N, it definitely makes the area around my mouth look super ashy, which I did not like. So I'm just gonna do the rest of the makeup and come back and talk more about this foundation. Just gonna do a simple face. So I'm back with a simple face of makeup. Now coming back to the foundation. So I tried this foundation initially without a primer, just with moisturizer on, and it felt really tacky as the day was progressing. I could feel a lot of stickiness without the primer, just the foundation alone on my face. It kept feeling super oily and my face turned extremely oily by the end of about 5 to 6 hours, which honestly I was expecting. Since this is a supremely dewy finish foundation, it is bound to happen with oily skin types. So the next time that I tried the foundation with a primer, it did not feel tacky so much, maybe just a slight bit, but it did not feel tacky or sticky on the face. So the foundation definitely sat better with a primer, and my oily skin took it very well with a primer on. I also went to a trip recently to a colder place, and over there the foundation performed really well. It did not become too oily or greasy in the colder weather. It stayed very well without being oily, just a bit of dewiness right here on the inner cheek and on the center of my forehead, but it definitely did not become oily, which means this foundation works very well on a colder place. In a hotter place like Chennai, I think this foundation would last about 5 to 6 hours. And also I was testing this foundation without air conditioner that day, so 5 to 6 hours is pretty decent, I would say. So the foundation doesn't really fade off or fade away from your face, it just becomes oily right here. So this is the typical place where my skin becomes extremely oily and produces more oil. So on the center of the forehead and the inner cheek area becomes super oily with this foundation. And also another surprising thing that I found with this foundation was, I was expecting it to crease really bad on my smile lines, but this foundation didn't, which is great. There was only a slight bit of creasing on my smile lines, which I found very surprising for a dewy finish foundation, because I was expecting to get really worse. So overall, I think the foundation is really great. Probably I would wear it during the winter months when the weather is much colder than it is right now, and I think this foundation would work pretty well. Or if I want a super dewy glass finish sort of a skin for any kind of makeup looks, I would definitely pick up this foundation. But if you have a drier skin type, I think you will really like this foundation, because it is super dewy and hydrating on the skin, so your dry skin would absolutely love it. I really wish they come out with a matte finish foundation as well, because I have high hopes from K Beauty, since they are a great brand and whatever products they produce are amazing quality. So I really wish they come out with a matte variant as well in this foundation. I would recommend the K Beauty Hydrating Foundation to all dry skinned people, not so much for oily skin, until and unless you want to wear this in a colder climate or during a colder weather. So yeah, I would recommend this to drier skinned people for sure. So I think I shared whatever I wanted to share about this foundation in today's video. I really hope that you guys found this video useful and helpful. If you did, make sure to give it a huge thumbs up, comment, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel for more such videos. And I shall see you guys soon in my next one. Bye!